happens when you're all set to feed thousands of students and then they're all suddenly sent home? If you're Queen's University, you donate all that leftover food. I'm joined by Davide Del Bracco, sustainability chef at Queen's University, and he's my neighbor. So good to see you, Davide. Who were some of the charities who got these donations?
Well, Donna, thank you for having me, first of all. And, we can always be donating to charities. We always do donate to charities, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
All
Some of
right.
the charities that really got, into some of the perishables and things that we had to get to the community were Partners in Mission Food Bank, of course, a large partner of ours, the Salvation Army, Martha's Table, which is just down the street from our house, of course, Kingston Youth Shelter, Interval House, In from the Cold, a really cool project of community partners in action. They actually go around the city at night, and Lunch by George. There were a few others. One of the biggest partners that we found, one of the biggest people involved actually, was former MPP Sophie Koala, who was extremely involved in community outreach programs. And I was put in touch with her, and quickly everything sort of snowballed into many people contacting me and just trying to find out how they can be a part of this.
And as I recall, Queen's University has an international cuisine because you have so many international students. So it must have been a real treat for some of these places to get food that's a little bit different than the usual.
Typically, we tout ourselves as one of the top culinary universities in the country, and being a chef, we look for good products all the time. So I'm more than willing to expand on that with our community partners, of course, and say, hey, they don't really always get to serve the best of the best, and we were able to help out in that way as well.
I bet they are really appreciated, but this isn't the first time that you've done something like this. This is an ongoing thing with Queens.
That's correct. Besides this latest COVID development, and of course, between the dates of March 20th and recently, we've donated over $13,000 just to the community partners. We also support annually throughout the school year a local farmer who raises animals and is out in Parham and shares with other farmers, usually between 50 and 100 pounds every pickup, a few pickups a week, as well as our ongoing food rescue program, which has been in place since before 2007, actually. It's with partners at the university, volunteers. It's called the Soul Food Program. It's also partnered with the Loving Spoonful, and it's overseen or tracked really and quantified by Food Rescue and Second Harvest. So just to put it into perspective, in the last 12 months, we've gone to helping our community with about 17,000 kilos of food. That's over 256 donations. Now, it's an everyday donation. The volunteers do come around to the dining halls and pick up food that is suitable for people in the community to have. It's, usually served hot, and we work with everyone in the community to try and get as many people involved in that voluntary process as well. There is a donation at the end of every term period. The Loving Spoonful volunteers will come and pick up some donatable perishables. And, it just doesn't end. It's wonderful. There's food insecurity on campus as well. So a couple of years ago, I think we're in its third year now, there's a program called Swipe It Forward. It's where people who are on the meal plan can easily give a meal anonymously to a bank, and people that are in need can source some meals from that. And so, people in our Queens community also benefit from donations.
That's something a lot of people don't realize. They think that kids who go to Queens are all from privileged families, but that's not the truth. There's a lot of kids that start running out of money, and the families just can't contribute as much. So that's interesting to learn.
In our community itself, a lot of young people from Kingston go to the university, and not everyone stays on campus, and not everyone is as fortunate to have an unlimited supply of meals. So people do share, and people realize that it's quite recognizable.
Now, just about a year ago, your efforts were recognized by Sustainable Kingston. Can you tell us about that award?
Yes, so in 2019, we won the most sustainable champion award through the Sustainable Kingston office. So this is an award that's just recognizing sustainability initiatives, and it was a partnership through many departments, and Queen's Hospitality Services was the primary receiver for that award, and we really take pride in that. Queen's Hospitality Services has, which is the department I work in, has spearheaded quite a number of sustainable initiatives, even since 2000, the early 2019, including my role, sustainability chef. There isn't one that we're aware of anywhere in North America. So it is a big initiative. My role does encompass a lot more than just cooking. Food waste is, of course, a huge focus, and food waste is the best way to be sustainable and help the community, avoiding it, of course. But I look at avoiding and programs that will affect any sort of sustainable living, whether it's the energy that's used in our campuses, whether it's the use of compostables, the idea of plant-based dining more often, or more attractive anyway.
Well, Davide, I was raised by Depression era parents, and wasting food was something that I think they would rather have heard I'd robbed a bank than wasted food.
That's right.
So in my home, little gets wasted because that was certainly drummed into me from an early age. But a lot of people don't, well, they're not quite as picky about this sort of thing. So what are some of the things the average homeowner could do to become more sustainable and to not waste so much food? What are some of the tricks you can share with us?
It's funny that you say that, Donna, because I'm currently working on a number of webinars and short videos that are going to be posted about just tricks and tips and just the common ideas about not wasting food, about being sustainable at home. Some of the things are quite simple. Taking an inventory of what you have. Don't go out and buy extra if you have it. So realize what your staples are, maybe your canned goods or your rices, things that are going to last you a long time. Take an inventory of it before you do your shop. Don't do, and this is something that we're all getting used to in COVID, don't do multiple shops all the time. Do shop less often, but get things that you really enjoy as well as things that you need. You'll start noticing that you'll use up those leftovers more often. Buying local. We have a good right across the street from my house, and as you know, there's the Kingston Memorial Center Market. When it is open, it's a wonderful spot. It's open on Sundays to go in and get, your supply of local goods. It doesn't have to be everything, but something is really important to sustainability. Sustainability is also keeping an eye on your consumption at home. Not wasting food, not wasting energy. So there are a lot of programs that you can buy into that sources directly, like Bullfrog Power, for example. They source directly from alternative renewable energy resources as opposed to natural gas or conventional energy resources. Get involved with the community. So share recipes, share food for those who need it in your community. That's a big one. And be creative. So be creative with leftovers or one ingredient that can take over a few dishes, and be creative with those things that you do naturally buy from the grocery store that aren't always sustainably diverted from our waste stream. Jars, those plastic packaging we really don't know what to do with. And for as long as I can remember, we've used the egg cartons as seed pods to plant your seeds in the spring before you plant your vegetable garden. Having a little vegetable garden is important. That also comes with composting. You can do your own compost, and it's really quite easy. Some people just mulch their leaves, which is wonderful. It helps the soil, it enriches everything. But a little bit of food waste in there really makes a difference.
Gives the worms just that much more to chomp on and the byproduct being really great compost that's wonderful for your garden and wonderful tips. And my secret weapon is soup. Anything that's starting to get a little funny gets made into soup. All I need is a stove and a blender and a freezer, and I've got meals forever. So this has been so interesting. Congratulations on the award last year.
Very
And
much. Thanks to our team. Our team has been quite incredible over the time. Even during this donation amount, it hasn't been one person at all. It's been quite a big effort. Trucks going back and forth trying to move product around and people being contacted. I'd like to really thank the team here for putting their best foot forward.
absolutely. And I guess we'll see you out on the at the memorial walk, walking our dog some evening. So take care and stay safe.
Great. Thanks, Donna. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Debbie. Bye bye.